Hey y'all, I'm back. I wanted to just do a quick video and break this down so it's short and sweet. If you missed my previous live, then this will be a quick catch up for you. Again, this falls under fair use content. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is a video of, I want to say something to Zav Girl. I want to remind you of some things that I think even you have forgotten about. Let's go.
Yeah, they are like a family. It was like losing a kid. Who said that? The dogs are like a family. I'm still not like I still can't really. I feel like I haven't. I'm not over. Like I can't think. It's hard to even think about him. I love that dog so much. I was so close to him, and every time I just think about it, I have to like block it out of my head. I can't even think about him because it makes me so sad. Like that last moment of looking at him, I can't even. Yeah. Oh man, that was like.
Nayla Z, what's happening, Nayla?
Can you imagine? It is very hard to lose a fur baby. Not discrediting that whatsoever. But can you imagine losing your child to a horrific crime at the hands of somebody you thought loved the child? And then can you imagine coming online and knowing that a complete stranger thought so little of your family and what you have gone through that they took it to the step of releasing the photos of your deceased child, your 11-year-old child? You said that you're having a hard time getting over the loss of your dog. Can you imagine how those parents feel? Now, these are your own words from 2019. I don't know if that person changed or if this is who you've been all along. But if you couldn't even bear the thought of looking or remembering the last vision you saw of your animal, can you imagine being in those parents' footsteps just for a second?
We were at his house, but he had to work, so I'm gonna do it by myself today. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Well, actually, this subject, I'm a little nervous to do this because this is by request. A lot of people requested the autopsy report, so there's it's not a very fun subject. So okay, so we're gonna start off with, and I want to just give a warning if you guys, if there's any young kids watching it, maybe they shouldn't watch, because we're going to be talking about some pretty disturbing things. So I'm a little bit nervous that people are going to be like offended or say that I'm insensitive or whatever. But this was a request to go through the autopsy. I'm not trying to be insensitive or anything. I'm just trying to give the facts. So there are some very disturbing things here. But let's go over it. Okay. I'm going to start with Shanann Watts' autopsy. Now, some things I'm going to skip because some things are just too much.
So autopsies are obviously something she likes to go over. Now, again, in true crime, I know there's people that will go over the autopsy reports and do it very thoroughly from an education standpoint or very knowledgeable professional standpoint. That's not what she does. In 2019, when she was doing the Chris Watts case, she decided to order all of the court records for that too. Thankfully, they did not contain photos, as she states coming up. But this obviously is something that she has enjoyed going through this. She is well aware that these type of discussions can have a lasting impression. So the fact that in 2019, she went from talking about Chris Watts, going through the autopsy, to 2023, she's posting an 11-year-old autopsy photos behind a paywall. She knew what she was doing.
After she was deceased, so I don't want to go over the details of that and all the little details, but I will cover some of them, and if you guys want to know any more, then let me see what page. It's on the Discovery page, like 1030. Well, actually, that's where Celeste. So I think it's 1020 when it starts in the Discovery.
So if you want more information, she's telling you where to find it. Again, this was about the Chris Watts story, and I did remove majority of this. But I just want people to understand that this wasn't just once that this has been done. This isn't just one family that's been violated. Unfortunately, she's got a history of doing things like this. Kylie Rodney, the Watts, Gannon.
Actually starts. I'm in here in the middle of it, but around 1020. So if you guys want any more details, I just don't want to cover everything because it just gets a little bit too disturbing, and I'm nervous actually to talk about it right now. So I'm nervous about all the comments of, I don't know, I could just see, but hopefully I just want to give the facts, and people were actually requesting this. So
people were requesting that she went over that. Okay, that does happen. She was well aware that not everybody could handle that. She was well aware of the criticism that she was going to get for going over these horrific details of this case. She was well aware of what her actions could potentially bring. Again, 2019. So in 2023, as of a couple days ago, she absolutely knew what she was doing. There's no question about that.
And I did a lot of research to figure out what some of this stuff meant, and I was tempted to put in pictures, and I decided not to. There's not pictures of them, but like to give pictures of some of the things, like some of the terms they use. But I'm choosing not to do that because that would be a little bit too disturbing. But okay, so
that would be a little too disturbing to include photos. Thankfully, the autopsy photos were not included in the packet that she had, but she was thinking about going and grabbing photos of things that they had described and including them in her video, which she decided to opt not to do. But in 2023, she puts an 11-year-old minor's body behind a paywall and charges $3 for it. His autopsy photos, after the most horrific crime had been committed to this little boy, taking and putting that image in so many people's minds. But in 2019, it was, well, I don't think people can handle it. I thought it would be too much. 2023, it's, hey, if it gets me clicks and views, right?
we're going to start with Shanann.
And I did not include all of this stuff. Again, these videos are still up on her page. If you would like to go watch them, it's Zav Girl.
As well as inmate services. He has been polite and respectful with the interactions I've had with him. He has been laying down staring at the top of his bunk or sitting on the edge of it staring at the floor. I wonder what he's thinking. I'm sure, hopefully he's got some regret.
Well, I wonder what you're thinking. Do you have any regret? Do you have any regret? Because it seems like that every time you have been talked about or addressed, you have doubled down. You have condoned your actions. You have made excuses for your behaviors. Now you're taking it to the point of coming to social media and asking for people to give you the contact information of the very family that you just re-victimized. That's not accountability. That's damage control, because I think you're worried about potential legal ramifications. You're not doing this because you care about the victims and the families. I don't know if you ever have, but that's between you and whoever you believe in or whoever you answer to, not up to the rest of us. But how dare you try to take Gannon's family's last good images that they can have in their minds of their little boy and taint that with your vile, despicable actions. I hope you, Zav girl, have the day you deserve.